On this video then, I'm going to be talking about the top 3 reasons why people leave basic training for the British Army early. Let's get into it. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. My name is Luke. I'm a serving sergeant within the British Infantry. And this channel, if you haven't already guessed, is all things army. But if you are looking to do the military, or you're just interested in the military, this is the place for you. So anyone who's looking to go to basic training, these are the top sort of 3 reasons why I see that people leave early. So then, first one, G1. What is this weird letter with this weird number, you ask me? That is just an acronym that we use in the British military that puts the welfare under one umbrella. What do I mean by welfare then? Anything that affects you as a person, or your own personal circumstances back home or wherever it may be. I will try and tie it up so you'll know what the basic issue is here and how you can sort of combat it before you go to training, or if you're currently in training itself. What a lot of people do, and I see them time and time again when I was in the training establishment, is they leave early because either their boyfriend or their girlfriend doesn't want them to be there, and they're sort of having these relationship issues. That being said, is okay, it's up to you as a person if you want to do that, and some people jump out and that is a relationship worth fighting for, and they staying together and they have a great life. But 70%, well, I don't know that to be an exact statistic, but primarily most of the people I see doing this, you will end up seeing them come back in a year or 2 later. Just make sure that these relationships are strong, and just be prepared to speak with these people before you go into service, letting them know specifically in basic training you're going to be away for at least 6 months if you're infantry, 14 weeks if you're non-infantry, but then you got to incorporate your phase 2 training as well.
Get here, get your ditch! Keep going! Your body's life depends on it! Keep going! This is where you prove you want to be here. The last push, the extra mile, going that extra distance on no fuel. Keep going! Get through that area!
If you're now watching this and you're sort of slightly older in age and you may have already got a family, or you've got kids, or you've got a long-term partner, and they're obviously happy for you to go because you've had that sort of mature discussion with them. But what you got to make sure you do is you got to tie everything down prior to you leaving. So this is stuff to do with maybe if you're the main earner in the family and you're paying direct debits and it's coming out of your bank account, making sure the correct money is where it needs to be prior to the end of the month. Specifically, if you're an exercise then over that payday, and then your partner needs to pay the bills and the money isn't there to do it, all that side of things. These types of little small things you may potentially not think about will then alleviate you and your partner to have stress. This stress builds up, then you end up leaving training. Please as well, if you take anything from this sort of aspect, you're not going to just do this welfare piece just for basic training. Look at this as practice, because there's going to be so many times throughout your military career that you're going to be going on overseas exercises. So that's deploying for 6 to 7 weeks at a time to international countries. A lot of these places you could go potentially will have no Wi-Fi. So if you do online banking, which pretty much everyone does online banking now, you got to look down at your home ship, make sure that's all tied down so your headspace is clear and you can concentrate on the task ahead, whether it be exercise or operations whenever you're deployed. Okay, this next one is a big one. This is primarily one of the biggies that happens within basic training especially, and unfortunately this is one of the ones that can be completely out of your control, and that is injury. It goes without saying, military training is arduous, it is aggressive at times. Not everyone's body is conditioned to the same as everyone else's within your platoon or your training troop or whatever it may be. It could just potentially be you've fallen over, you've broken your ankle, accidents happen. This is an arduous job. You got to keep a good mindset, because if you are one of these people who's unfortunate to actually have one of these injuries within training, the resources are there to get you back in shape and back into training again. All the other little niggly injuries and stuff you hear people have may be like sort of they're spraining their ankles or shin splints and all things like this here, which could also enable people to be back squatted. There is stuff that you can do to prevent this, called prehab. So you do prehab so you don't go to rehab. But I'm telling you right now, if you do all your core exercises, your flexibility, your mobility, all that kind of stuff in the evening, half an hour, that's all it is in the evening, every evening, in your room, in your bed space, it will just go so far in helping you stay safe from all the niggles and stuff. The other thing then is just if you have a bad day.
Move, move, move.
Come on, Treaky.
Get fucking up, up. Get up, get up. Get foot fire down.
Have a bad day in basic training, do not leave because of it. This happens. Someone has a bad day, and then all these negative thoughts come into their head going, he shouted at me or she shouted at me, or I'm just not getting this certain aspect of training or this test, I just don't understand this, maybe this isn't for me. Because what also is going to be playing in your mind is, I'm now starting to miss home, I'm a little bit more hungry now, I'm now tired. All these things will start to play in your mind. You got to batter them off and just get with that resilience. How then you can sort of rectify this, or sort of target as such, is the very end of your evening, when just before the lights are off and everyone's getting into bed, sort of reflect on the day you just had, and you pick 2 or 3 positive and 2 or 3 negative points. Whatever the negatives were, how you personally thought you'd done, have that in your head, and then go away into the next day. So when you wake up in the morning, and just make sure you don't do that again. So you've got them in your head, write them in your notebook if you have to. The positive points then, think about that and reward yourself. It's them small mini victories will all add up to give you the bigger victory of getting you to the very end of the finishing line. If you got any value out of this video today, hit the like button, give it a good smash, and I'll leave these 2 videos online here now. If you're looking at basic training, they will help you further prepare or further gather information to make sure you're good to go to get it smashed and start your career. See you again.